Good morning, good morning. It is Monday morning, August the 14th, and I'm back with another word of the day. My new channel, in case you have no name, is now The Road to Wisdom. The Road to Wisdom. I'm no longer Kermit Chat, it's just me, your boy, Danny Graham, and I'm going to be speaking to you on my new channel, which I'm trying to rebrand, and it is called The Road to Wisdom. The Road to Wisdom. As always, I'm going to get right into it. As you can see, the word of the day is the road to wisdom, and the word of the day is character. Character is what we'll be discussing today. So let's sit back and relax and let's get into it. Character. The definition of character is the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. Let me say it one more time. The mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. The scripture about character comes from the book of Proverbs. As you know, that's my favorite book. 20th chapter, 6th verse, and it says, better is a poor man who walks in his integrity than a rich man who is crooked in his ways. Let me say that one more time. Better is a poor man who walks in his integrity than a rich man who is crooked in his ways. And the quote of the day about character is, knowledge will give you power, but character will give you respect. Say it one more time. Knowledge will give you power, but character will give you respect. And Bruce Lee said that. Now, character. A lot of people have character at sometimes, and sometimes they have character when it's convenient. A lot of times, character is something. It is definitely your thoughts, like it said, the definition. Your thoughts and your beliefs. That's what makes your character. Sometimes your thoughts and your beliefs don't always coincide, but they should coincide. If you're thinking one thing, then your beliefs should be on that. But sometimes we have to make sure that our beliefs coincide and line up with other people's beliefs, because if we want to get somewhere and we're not strong enough to stand on our own 2 feet, and we just want to go ahead and do things instead of standing for something, then a lot of times we let our beliefs coincide with other people's belief that we don't necessarily agree with. But I'm against that. If I don't like something, or if I'm going to defend something or not defend something, then you're going to hear about it from me. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to verbalize it. I'm going to verbalize it sometime. I do it in around a large crowd, or I do it privately. But if it's something that Danny does not like, I'm going to pick the time to say it. Sometimes the right time to say it is right then and there. Sometimes you got to pick your time, especially if you're at work and you have a boss, or if you're in a spouse and you're out with a crowd or with friends or something. You just can't sometimes blurt it out. But if the conversation allows itself to specifically talk about someone, and you need to either, I don't want to character assassinate anyone, but sometimes you need to call people out, and then sometimes your character can be in question. So you need to make sure that your beliefs, your thoughts, and your beliefs coincide. They shouldn't be. And a lot of times when we're younger and not and trying to find our way in life, and then trying to be a part of the crowd, don't want to succumb to peer pressure. A lot of times we'll go with other people's beliefs, or going with the crowd. But as you grow older, as you become more mature, you become an adult. And if you're a believer, as you become more grounded in God's word, then you're going to set yourself apart from that. If you see something that's totally crazy, then you're not going to be a part of that. And that comes to your character. What you are by yourself, what you are in public, what you are with others, that is your character. The same way you are when you're in front of a group of people is the same way you should be when you're by yourself. If you're going for ABC over here, then by yourself, then when a bunch of people are that going for DEF, and you don't agree with DEF and you agree with ABC, then you should be able to go ahead and tell DEF crowd why you don't specifically agree with them. Don't be afraid to speak your mind, and that goes back to character. Again, the definition of that is the mental and moral qualities of an individual that are very distinct to you. Some people know. I got a friend of mine, Jamie, and I'm telling you, I admire this cat, because when he said he's not going to do something, I've seen it. I've known this man for over 20-something years. When he says he's not going to do something, you can go ahead and write that down in the book. If he says, look, 2 weeks from now, I'm going to KFC and I'm going to eat some chicken, and I'm going to come back and get a piece of chocolate cake and whatever else. 2 weeks from then, you can almost bet that he's going to get that KFC chicken, that chocolate cake, whatever else, and he's going to eat it. Or if he tells you, look, I'm not doing that, and you got about 2-3 more weeks until I had enough, and then I'm going to go ahead and do what I need to do. If he tells you that, anybody that knows him, if he tells you something like that, he's going to do it, you might as well go ahead and put it on the date. If you don't change, or if you don't change his mind, and I very rarely see him change his mind, he's going to do it. And I admire that, because sometimes I can do that, but a lot of times I can't. Well, I won't say a lot of times, but sometimes I can be persuaded to change that. Or sometimes just a softie. It's just hard to be, sometimes it's hard to be hard on your kids and your wife, and sometimes just to make peace. But hey, he does it, bro. And I give him a round of applause. I've seen it in action. I've seen it live and live in color. And it's something to behold. And I admire him for that, because sometimes I need to be more stern. But right now, the way my spiritual life is going, and my marital life is going, and my relationship with my kids, I am happy. So I think I found that happy medium. And I'm not going to topple the apple cart, so to speak. But yeah, character, like I said, mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. One thing to your choices that you make can shape your character. If you make poor choices, you're gonna have. It's safe to say you might have poor character, or at least at first, until you grow that, until you make mistakes, until you learn from your mistakes. But if you make poor choices, say the same mistakes continuously over and over and over, I think that pretty much you got a pretty much bad character, because you shouldn't be making the same mistakes you made at age 20, at age 30. The mistakes you made at age 30, you should be making at age 40. The mistakes you make at age 40, you should be making at age 50. But if you're making the same mistakes at age 20 and you're age 50 now, then something is wrong with that. Your character needs a serious overhaul. And if you don't like the way your life is now because of the choices you make, then that's on you. You have to do different choices. You have to look yourself in the mirror and say, look, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of being in this position. I'm sick and tired of this job. I'm sick and tired of this house I'm living in. I'm sick and tired of this car that I'm driving. I'm sick and tired of how I am spiritually in my life. I'm sick and tired of this marriage. I'm sick and tired of whatever you're sick and tired of. You have to make a change. You have to make a change, either try to fix it or change it completely. Whatever you need to do, but to sit here and wallow in it, all that's going to do is it's going to poison your character. And your choices that have a direct influence and that directly shapes your character, your choices. Positive choices, positive character. Negative choices, negative character. They go hand in hand, they coincide. So make sure of that. And sometimes your mistakes, they don't also always define your character, because like I said earlier, you can make mistakes, but if you learn from those mistakes, then that builds your character. Like I said earlier in my videos, failure is a learning tool. You're not always going to be successful. You're not always going to be in a good season where things are going your way. There are going to be seasons where things are going your way. Things are not going your way. There can be seasons where you succeed. There can be seasons where you fail. But your character is not solely defined by the mistakes that you make. Your character is defined if you keep making the same mistakes continually over and over again and don't learn from them, then that has a direct influence on your character. Also, your effort. If you're giving a minimal effort, then you're going to have a minimal response. If you're giving a maximum effort, then you may not always be successful, but you're going to be in a better place than you just going half throttle with effort. If you're doing something that's worth having, if you're doing something that you want to build your character, you're going to give it maximum effort. If you see that you need to change something in your character, you have to give yourself a major overhaul. You have to put in the effort. There's a shirt that I showed my wife just today, and it has one of my favorite cartoon characters. His name is Vegeta. He plays on Dragon Ball Z. And it says on the shirt, I'm paraphrasing, you got to do it. You got to put in the work. No one's going to do it yourself. And I have a post up here with Kobe Bryant, and it says, if you don't believe in yourself, no one will do it for you. And that's Vegeta. If you want to do something, no one's going to do it for you. You have to do it yourself. If you're tired of looking in the mirror, you need to lose weight. No one's going to lose that weight for you but yourself. If you're tired and you're not educated enough, and you want that education, you want that degree to get a job, no one's going to get that degree. No one is going to get that degree before you. You're going to have to do it. If you're tired of driving that old car, no one is going to clean up your credit score. No one's going to save that money. Someone may save that money, but if you want to be independent and you want to get it yourself, you're going to have to be the one that do that. If you want to get that promotion, you're going to have to be the one that put in that work to go to the classes, to get the training, to improve your skill set, to do the work, and actually get promoted. Now, there are some shortcuts to what I'm saying on everything I just said. But if you want to get it the right way, if you want to get it and have a good character, a good positive character, then you want to do it, and you want to do it the right way, then you have to put in the work. You have to put in the effort. No one else can do it for you but you. So you have to look yourself in the mirror and say, look, I'm sick and tired of this. I'm going to put in the effort. At one time, I weighed over 300 pounds, 306 pounds. Now, thank God, I put good on the scale today, and I was like 249. I was ecstatic because for that time, I think my heaviest, I was 306. Now I'm 249. My goal is 240. I hate exercise. I just do. But I walk. This morning, I walked just under 5 miles. I have a workout bench in my garage, and I got the resistant bands. I try to do that. I don't do it as much as I should do, but I walk just about every day. Every day, the good Lord sends, I try to walk unless it's just raining or I'm busy with my second job. But I try to put in that exercise. And I'm also taking some medication that's helping me with appetite as far as and I'm diabetic, some of you know, right here on my arm. Yeah, right there on my arm. Boom. But I know that won't last forever. That I have to put in the work. So I walk and I ride a bike. I bought a bike and I ride that, and it helps me. No one is going to go out there and walk those miles for me. No one is going to ride that bike for me. No one is going to push me back from that table. No one is going to say, Danny, you need, instead of eating the whole chocolate cake, just eat a piece of the chocolate cake. Instead of eating all the rice and chicken, just eat some of the rice and chicken. No one's going to do that. No one is going to stop food from going into my mouth that shouldn't be in there but me. I have friends at the sheriff's office going to do the same thing, and they're doing fantastic, but no one is going to do the work but you. So that's just me. That's Danny. My thing that my cross, I guess I'm bearing is I live in the South. I love food. I can eat fried food, I think, every day, but I know that I can't because I want to be healthy and I want to be around here as long as I can with my family, and that goes to character. You have to dig down deep. You have to make the right choices, better choices, more positive choices, better the character. And you got to realize that every choice that you make has an end result. Every choice that you make has an end result, and that end result can reflect negatively or positively on your character. If you go out here and steal money and you're in a position, let's say a church position or a law enforcement position, you steal that money, and then guess what? You get caught, it's going to ruin your reputation and ruin your character. No one else is ever going to trust you again to hold one of those jobs. If you go out here and you're a womanizer, or you a woman that likes to sleep with a lot of men, or whatever the case may be, no one's going to trust you, especially if you're in a committed relationship. Then they're not going to trust you if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. So you have to make sure that when you're in a certain limelight, and now with social media, everybody and their mama had one of these, a camera. It could be something totally innocent, or it could not be innocent. But once someone takes that picture, once someone's recorded and they upload it to YouTube or whatever social media, Facebook, whatever it keeps to be, TikTok, then your character is destroyed. And like I said in earlier videos, it is a whole lot easier to get into trouble than it is to get out of trouble. And we live in a society that now that you are guilty, from the moment they see it, you're guilty, and you have to prove your innocence. And you can have a preponderance of evidence saying that you're innocent. You can have it stacked as tall as I am tall. But guess what? We live in a society now that, I don't know, Danny probably did it. Yeah, I know the evidence. I know that camera says the same thing with Michael Irvin. The camera shows that clearly he didn't do nothing in that brief time he was with that female lady. But since that happened, he hasn't been on TV talking about football. And Michael Irvin is one of my favorite commentators. But when we first got it, he was presumed guilty, and now he had to prove his innocence. He was presumed guilty because they kicked him out of the hotel. He could not talk about the Super Bowl, last year's Super Bowl. He hasn't been on First Take, or he hasn't been on any NFL network show that I've seen since that incident happened. I really don't know what the status is. I was following it, but now it's gone. It is like a character assassination has been put on him. And the evidence that we've seen that they've released, that his attorney has, look like he is innocent. But again, we live in a society now where you are guilty and you have to prove your innocence. So there, I said, your decisions, every choice you make it's going to be an end result. Whether or not you're man enough or woman enough to live with that result, it's entirely up to you. Whew, I'm thirsty. There's a saying I heard, and this is for my female listeners. It says, "A strong woman doesn't have an attitude; she has a standard." A strong woman doesn't have an attitude; she has a standard, and that's a good thing to have. A standard's a good thing to have, but sometimes those standards are sometimes not the standard, but the way the standard is perceived, or the way the standard is issued, or the way the standard is projected, can be a lot of arrogance. We hear a lot of women say, well, I don't need this. I'm independent. I'm this. Which you may be. And I know that sometime in history, some demographics have been a part of that mentality, because the women are left to be the homemakers, single parents. They got to do the job of the father and the mother as far as raising kids, as far as raising men. And I can see where they can get that. But like I said in a previous video, there are good men out there. Whether or not you take the time to look and find them, whether or not you think that some of these stereotypes are applicable to all men, and that some men do this and some men do that, that covers every demographic, not just one particular demographic. And I think, and to a certain extent, that can be character assassination on some men, on the good men. The mistakes, the decisions, the poor mental and moral beliefs that some men have, are destroying it and making and really doing a character assassination on the good men that are out there. And that's totally unfair, because like everyone says, there are good women out there, which I totally 100% believe. I'm married to a good woman. My mother's a good woman. My sisters are. My every female in my family, my friends that I know of, I think are good women. But guess what? They're good men as well, equally as good men. But sometimes society paints this picture on men being dogs and particularly certain demographics, and it's a character assassination, and it's not fair. You just can't judge the whole lot by one or two mistakes, or three or four mistakes. You can't judge the whole lot. You can't kill everyone else's character because of 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever number you want to say, men or women or whatever particular demographic may be doing dumb stuff. But just because that particular percentage of that demographic is doing dumb stuff, you can't kill the character and have a character assassination on the rest of it. It's just not fair. Character is also revealed when pressure is applied. The more pressure you're under, that's going to really tell you what kind of character you have. Whether you're going to have good character or whether you're going to have bad character. And one thing about pressure I'm going to talk about in biblical times is Jesus told Peter, before the night is through, you would deny me 3 times. Or before the cock, the chicken, the male chicken, the cock crows 3 times, you will deny me. Peter was put under pressure. He did not know, I guess, they were going to come at Jesus like they did, but he thought, I can withstand the pressure. How many of us have been in that position? I can withstand the pressure. I can stand the pressure. I'm not going to tell. I'm not a snitch. See, all the time in law enforcement, I'm not a snitch. I'm not going to tell. But when you start getting that jail time or that prison time, and I've seen it a lot of times, you're big and bad when your friends are around. But when you're by yourself, you get in the back of that car and the door slam and we take you to jail. I've seen many a guys, many a females start boo-hoo crying, calling for mama. I can't. I want to call my mama. Whoa. You were so tough back then, big and bad. You said it didn't matter. That take me to jail. So I'm doing what you asked me to do, and now it's a horse of a different color. Where's this character you had back then? Where's this tough character, this tough persona that you had back then 10 minutes ago? You're around your boys, around your girls. Now it's different. Same thing back in biblical times. Jesus told Peter, look, you're going to deny me. No, Lord, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stick up for you. 3 times he denied the Lord before the cock crowed. Another one that had poor character, or a character, what's the word I want to use? a lack of character was Judas. Judas betrayed Jesus over 30 pieces of silver. Let that sink in. 30 pieces of silver. I don't know what that'd be worth now. I would like to look it up. Maybe when I look that up. What is 30 pieces of silver worth in today's day? Probably several thousands of dollars. I'm not sure what it is. But 30 pieces of silver, he betrayed Jesus. He betrayed Jesus because he told the authorities, the people that was looking for him, I think it was King Herod, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot the king name, forgive me. But one of the kings was looking for Jesus to arrest him and to crucify him. And he said he would identify him by kissing. He kissed Jesus, and the men came, took Jesus. They gave him 30 pieces of silver, betrayed Jesus. He was shamed so bad that instead of asking for forgiveness, which he probably would have got, I'm quite sure he would have gotten, he hung himself. The Bible doesn't say whether or not, I've read some things that say God didn't forgive him. I don't know for certain. But he was so ashamed by his betrayal that he hung himself. So I don't know where Judas is at, whether God forgave him, whether he made it into heaven, whether he's in hell. I don't know. The Bible does not tell me. I have not found it yet. But the character flaw, tremendous character flaw, betrayal. Someone who was as kind, as learned, and as teaching and forgiving as Jesus, he didn't have enough confidence to ask him for forgiveness. He had the audacity to betray him. So, character flaw or the lack of character, those are two examples that I gave it in biblical times. We see that every day here now in today's time. You think somebody's your friend, and the next thing you know, they're in the bed with your man or in the bed with your woman. Houdini, a rap group from the 70s, 80s, sing a song, Friends. How many of us have them? How many of us have them? And it talks about different things, how their friends or so-called friends betrayed them. Character flaws. We see it every day. Every day in the world that I work in, my profession. You see it here in biblical times. I just gave you two examples. Well, character is the word of the day, and that was just my 2 cents on that. And I hope that this resonates in your spirit, in your soul. And if this is your first time ever seeing me, please subscribe to the channel. Also, give me a thumbs up. Hit that like button. Hit the notification bell because I don't want you to miss any material that I upload. Also, leave me a comment because I will definitely respond back to your comments. Tomorrow, the word of the day, I believe, is confidence. Confidence is the word of the day. And I think that's going to be a good one. I definitely enjoy this, and I will be back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. And welcome to my new channel, which is called The Road to Wisdom. And on that road to wisdom, you are always welcome. You have a blessed day, and peace be with you.